Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Today we are logging into the main account to talk about some of the things that have just been updated. So you can see here, didn't even get my core hammers, haven't even looked at it, don't even know what's going on, but what I do know is that there's going to be a ton of pop-ups. And we came second in the Ice Golem. Crush, I don't even know, why did we even do Ice Golem? Oh, like I barely did Ice Golem. Nobody else wanted to do the Ice Golem. Easy wins, baby. Easy wins. So, Fragment event has begun. Yes, I will be partaking. I appreciate you too. I really need to log in more often to be able to do that. Yeah, let's just forget reading all that stuff. But however, we have this, and it's time to take a look and see what I'll actually get. We had a lot of speculation. We did see one example. I will tell you, I opened up, I had 30 fragments from the Blade Master, and I got 1 XP barrel, some brews, I think 1 potion, and I got 2 sets of fragments, a 3 and a 2. So I actually didn't do awful on getting High Mother Mod, though I'll never get her on my free to play. But it again, hit or miss. But let's just find out what's going to happen in this. I have so many. We're just going to get rid of all of these right now, and it'll be more. Obviously, won't be able to open up all of them, but at least then I can just. It'll be out of my face. You can see how many. First of all, we get to see how much is this going to matter. Especially when we're diving into a fragment event. I'm actually kind of really curious as to see 49 so far. Does anyone have more? Let me know in the comments down below if you have more than the number I'm about to have here. I used to be a tryhard. Most of these fragments, most of these things I went for. I imagine you can't do that yet because it's still active. So these are like overflow from these fragment events. By the way, I did not go for Gwendolyn, so that's just freebie. Man, I have 102. I got 10 weeks I gotta wait so far. Oh, but wait, there's more. I did not go for Timid, or did I? No, I think I did go for Timid accidentally. I slipped. All right, let's go. Oh my God, how many of these are there? Up to 122. Mordecai. When was Mordecai? Like, how long have some of these fragments been sitting there? Probably won't be able to do these two. I did not go for Jetney. I'm surprised that. No, I must have, because otherwise, why would I have so many? All right, there we are. Oh, look at that. I've got Saoirse. I don't know why Fenchi's still there, but the rest are all disappeared. So we have 134 chests to get 100 fragments. Now, obviously, it's not going to let me open them all right now, but let's do our first 10. Well, let's see what we got. We got 2 single fragments. We got nothing. This is mind-blowing. This is a perfect example. I'm glad this happened live, so I could, well, not live, but on first recording. So I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I got 30 for my 10 chests. And how much did that cost me in resources? It's usually up around the 2,000 mark to get those fragments. I got 25 brews, 2 fragments, 1 superior potion, and 1 rare book. Wow. That has to be the worst. Let me know in the comments down below. If you got a worse chest than that, that has to be the worst chest in the world. There's no way someone got worse than that. That is embarrassing low. And it just shows you why, yet again, they broke another system. Because that is something that could have been cool for people like me who played this game, have pushed tons of resources through to get, in most cases, not. Ooh, that's actually not bad. Incidentally, it's not like I was pushing for those extra fragments, but in pushing all the events during these things, I got extra fragments. How many resources did I push? How many resources did I push while doing videos? And the thank you they give me is a couple bucks worth of resources. Could have been cool. I could have felt good. I could have been like, I love this game. But TLDR, it's not how I feel right now. It's not how I'm feeling at this particular moment. Oh, did I forget to do the last little bit? Yeah, I better do that. Better get another rare book. Whew. What are we up to for books? Thank God. I burned a ton of these. Remember when CVC used to actually count those as big and they lowered it? We actually got everything except for this cooldown, eh? I'll save it. Yeah, so there you go. I don't even know where to go from there. Oh, yeah, the fusion. Yeah, do the fusion. I think this fusion is going to be really good. You're not going to be able to skip anything. Did they put it in here? Let's see if I can get that on screen. Why does it want me to add? Like, what am I adding when I go to your website? What kind of messed up is asking me to add something like it? Anyway, sorry. Let's take a look here and see what is going on. I'm glad I'm like 100% on point here. Done. All right, so White Queen and Cora, I think it's gonna be worth it. I think she's gonna be a nice one there. Let's just make her smaller so we can see it all. I'm on the other side because when I do watcher content, I don't want to hide the cooldowns of the ultimates. So just so you know why I'm on this side, no particular reason. Okay, so we've got Fire Night Tournament, Classic Arena Takedown. Do not do anything today. Wait till tomorrow. Do the Fire Night. Well, you can do the Classic Arena. Do the Classic Arena today. If you're free to play, obviously, just make sure you burn out your tokens whenever they fill up. Fire Night Tournament. Wait till tomorrow and hit that with the dungeon drivers. We're going to have a summon rush. It's going to be 15, probably 10 plus 5. So you're probably looking at hitting both. You're probably looking at, what was it, 6 sacreds, 7 sacreds is probably what it's going to cost you, or an equivalent of other type of resources. So just keep that in mind. And then, so that's tomorrow. And then you've got Artifact Enhancement. That's pretty self-contained. Champion Training, 10 plus 10 if you get the tournament. You may want, if you think you can do this, now funny enough, the only bonus points are in Champion Training and Champion Chase, which is completely on brand for Raid Shadow Legends. Heaven forbid you give it for being good in the Fire Knight or Spider. No. You only get the bonus fragments if you do things that A, burn so many resources that you typically have to dip into the pocket if you're a spender to do them, or you've been so diligent with your resources you have them, or if you just open up enough shards, which typically to win a shard tournament, again, probably spending money. So thank you for being completely transparent on what still, 5 years later, matters most to you. And that is people who spend money. And the rest of us, well, I guess me, depending on the week, depending on my mood, I guess, can go. But anyway, so that's fine. The Spider Tournament, you'll be able to hit off of the back end of the some Dungeon Divers, which is good because I've noticed the Dungeon Divers has been getting significantly more difficult. I don't know if it's the average points, like if they messed with the rates, probably not, or else the people that look into that would have said something. But I do see that you can do the Spider Tournament, and what will probably happen with that Dungeon Divers, because it's only one five frag, so it's only one fragment available, is the Fire Knight. You'll probably get to it or close to it. If you're free to play, you can probably stop a little short and hit that Spider Tournament up to top it off. I suspect if you get the top reward, not just the top fragment, but the actual top reward in both tournaments. You should be able to get the top reward in the Dungeon Divers. Like I said, that's not necessarily guaranteed. So, and if that's the case, I would argue that Spider is at least going to get you more silver, which you're going to need to finish up that artifact enhancement. So if you do have to overspend into one of those tournaments, probably the Spider tournament, that'll allow you to get the artifact enhancement. Then we have a little secondary Dungeon Divers. So I take back everything I said. So this Dungeon Divers only has the Spider tournament overlapping. So you may want to, if you have to top it up to get the Dungeon Divers one, fine, and then hold off until the new one starts. Which, oddly enough, they're back to back, which is really strange too. They didn't even bother putting any break in there. Really, like, what is going on with this tournament? Who cares? It's all good. So the Spider tournament to that Dungeon Divers 2, you're going to want to hold off on. So I'm going to revise what I just said and say probably do the Fire Knight until you get. If you're free to play, low spend. If you're trying to be resource efficient, use that Fire Knight to get your Dungeon Divers, and then use this Spider event tournament to get this Dungeon Divers. And I would say you're going to have to overblow both these tournaments, but there's no other spend there. There's not even, I mean, I guess there's a champion training, so you could probably burn through a ton of your champion training doing 12-3 brutal, not nightmare, do brutal, so you get more artifacts, and that'll help you with the Dungeon Divers. And you can actually do that in both of them to supplement. It's not a huge deal, but it is technically it's points, so it doesn't hurt to do both of those. So again, that champion training, you can use Fire Knight tournament and then use the champion training to top up Dungeon Divers possibly, and then hit Spider tournament on this Dungeon Divers 2 and use the champion training on the 13th to top that off. I think that would probably be the best way about it. Finish them early, give yourself a breather on the 14th. So you're just doing the artifact enhancement 2. So again, Spider tournament be a good time to do that. If you're just looking to let's go, you have lots of brews and you don't want to spend a lot of time in the champion training, then you can just overburn that Spider tournament to get the Dungeon Divers. It's going to give you the silver you need for the artifact enhancement 2, which I will need to do because I only have about 40 million silver, and usually it costs about 25 million silver to complete, depending on RNG, to complete those artifact enhancement, and there's only a 1-day breather between the two. So very interesting indeed. So I got a question though. Dungeon Divers ends on the 12th and starts on the 12th. Does that mean there'll be a day right here where you can run Spider tournament and get both of these? Doesn't that seem a little bit suspicious? I'm not too sure. That's an interesting one. If that were the case, then there you go. February 12th, which I think is a Monday. You can plan your Valentine, stay home, call in sick, and then just run Spider tournament during both. That's very strange. That might be an interesting. I don't remember ever seeing that before. It's not to say it hasn't happened before. I've been out of the swing with when it comes to the main account, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of want to get back into playing the main account more. I ignored Cursed City this year, and I'm a little bit disappointed with myself with that. Definitely once free to play 2024 ends, I will probably migrate back to my main account and start making content back on that. It's not 100% positive, but I think I'm refreshed enough. And I've let go a lot of my anger, although yesterday's video or the last video certainly doesn't say that I've let it go. But I'm, you know what? I'm solid. I'm solid. I'm not gonna say I'm zero spend. I'm pretty low spend now, though. I've spent twice this year, and it was just to get me over a hump on those fragments for those champions for the monster hunter. So. I think if the Monster Hunter weren't there, I probably wouldn't have spent, which means I guess for them, that means that's a good collab for them. But anyway, I'm rambling. I get it. Now we've got the worst of it all, Hero's Path, which will be a champion training, just so you're all aware. So make sure you don't blow all your resources on this champion training, because the Hero's Path will be primarily on champion training. It'll also be on getting artifacts. So yeah, your Dragon Tournament will double up with the Hero's Path. There is an enhancement 3. Keep that in mind. There's a champion chase, which again, that's where you're going to want to use your saved up fragments from previous fragments. I don't have any, but if you do, then you're smarter than me, and it'll give you an opportunity to use them there. Classic Arena, again, pretty self-explanatory. Ice Golem Tournament, the most hated tournament in the world, will coincide with Hero's Path as well. It might get you a couple extra points, but really just hit your fragments on Ice Golem. My honest opinion is you should be farming way more Ice Golem than we do, but it is such a trash mechanic that it's frustrating to do. I do have the Chronom one. It's about a 96%, 98%. It fails every once in a while. Double crit. It has to be a double crit, and it has to be a double crit when I don't have the revive up with Jamarsa, because I use Chronom, like I said. So it's very, there's a lot of steps I haven't failed, but it does fail once in a while. I think I failed twice when I won this last tournament, running all the way through. So not too bad. Again, yeah, use these tournaments to help supplement that Hero's Path, but just know that that's going to be you and the Brutal 12-3. Unlike this one here, if you have the farmer and you aren't too worried about the silver, because there is a reduced silver count and there's also a reduced mystery shard count, if neither of those things are important to you, depending on where you are in the game, I would suggest farming Nightmare for this Hero's Path just to speed things up, because you are getting more XP per energy. You're getting less silver per energy. And that's in the fact that you're getting one shield, or in this case, boots versus shield. The boots sell for less. And the boots aren't going to be twice as high quality. It doesn't work that way, which means you're going to get less overall silver by about a third, roughly. So keep that in mind. Also, no mystery shards. Now, that sounds like ridiculous for most of you. You probably have 10,000 of them. However, if you're in the mid game and you're just starting to push these sort of things, then you may not have a lot of mystery shards, and that's actually where you get a lot of your food farming from, is to be able to pull mystery shards. So just keep those in mind, those things. But should those not be an issue, then my suggestion, just to save yourself some sanity, if you can farm Nightmare, probably farm Nightmare for the Hero's Path to level up your champions a little quicker. And that'll also give you a little bit of silver to finish up on the artifact enhancement. I will use Brutal. I can do Nightmare, but I will use Brutal just because the extra silver is important to me, given the artifact enhancement event is right near the end. So, is this a doable event? I think it is. I think the fragments from the Hero's Path won't be the hardest to get. I'm going to say that right now. If you have a lot of energy, if you have a lot of stored up energy pots, that sort of thing, you don't have a lot of shards, this is your best friend, because you probably will be able to get all the fragments with some hard push on Hero's Path, which just means a lot of training. Whereas the flip side, over here, the Summon Rush is always a number check. It's a numbers game. It doesn't matter what you pull. It doesn't matter what quality. You can't save up anything for the Summon Rush. It's just 500 per, or what is it, 325, or whatever it is for the primals. 120 and 20. And 1. So those are the numbers you get. No matter what, that's what it's going to be. And it's probably going to be 3,500 for the top one. So it may be in your best interest, and you have to answer that question, not me. You have to get one of the fragments. My guess is there'll be 3 fragments staged among the tree. I don't suspect it'll be 2, though I could be proven wrong. It could just be 2 fragments, 5 and a 10. But you could save yourself some of the Summon Rush by doing it over in the Hero's Path. You'll still have to get the 5 here, but you can get the 15 here. Or alternately, you can get the 15 at the Summon Rush and only have to get 5 at the Hero's Path. I think that's going to be your choice. So that's where your extras are. Now, if you can win the Champ Training Tournament or the Champion Chase Tournament, it doesn't matter. You'll have the extra fragments, though I wouldn't hold my breath and hold out for winning that. Unlike the other tournaments, where winning just means putting more energy in more often than the other guy, this also has a lot to do with how many champions you have, how many brews you have, how many chickens you have, and there'll always be someone who has more resources than you. So just throwing all that out there. And the champion chase, same thing. That's just a money game. Someone can always outspend you. So just keep those in mind. All right, I was in a ramble. So again, I think that's all I have to say about the new champion. I think the new champion's a solid get. I think for no other reason, you're gonna want to have her avail. It's funny, the High Mother's up there and she already done here. It's so nice to only see a few champions in that list. So the reason why you want to get her, you may be looking at it and saying, oh, you know what, I don't need an all battle. She's kind of cool, but where am I going to use her? I think the reason why you want her, even if you've already got everything you want, is in case you pull the king. So for that reason, everyone should be going for her. She does have some cool stuff, some cool synergy. The other thing to think about is the Centranos is changing all the time, and anytime you can give yourself another high quality support like this. Like, I always think of Morgan. Morgan was a poor person's whatever, right? Like, I have two Lysandra. I have other champions that can do what Morgan can do better, significantly better. But the reality is, Centranos has flipped the table on its head. And if you're playing Centranos, anytime you can get different affinity champions that do similar things, that can help you on the support side, especially the support side, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. This should be attainable. I'm not going to say it's easy, because that hero's path is a big blight in our world here. But let's take a look at her again, just for a final thought. She does have a passive here. So she's going to take any sort of crowd control and put it on herself and give herself a 50% turn meter boost. If Wight King Narcissus is on the team, she's going to cleanse it too, which is amazing. She revives a dead ally with HP and turn meter, resets the cooldown of the revived ally skills. That is ridiculously good. To think you're going to have 75% turn meter, and if you have Wight King, it's going to be 100% turn meter, and you're going to reduce turn meter of enemies. And if he is revived, can't be resisted, which is obscene. I wouldn't worry about the turn meter thing here. You're probably not going to win that battle, because it's only 10% and you're only getting 75% turn meter. So if they have 100% turn meter, that'll put them, say they have 105% turn meter, that's only going to reduce their turn meter by 10.5. And they're still going to go before you. But it may give one of your other champions who is at 100% a chance to do something. So it won't be bad. I would say you're going to give her some accuracy. I don't think you're going to go full out on accuracy, because the 10% isn't probably enough to warrant it. You'll have to decide for yourself. But I like this. The shield has a strengthen. Now a lot of people are saying, oh, she's just a amped up Doom Priest. Doom Priest does better. Doom Priest doesn't have a revive last I checked. Doom Priest is Force Affinity last I checked. So, Doom Priest has a Force Affinity turn meter or a speed boost. So she transfers most stuff. She doesn't just cleanse one. What if you had a True Fear and a decreased defense on you, and she decided to cleanse the decreased defense, and you're still sitting there like a bump on a log? This is removing all crowd control from you on the ally with the highest crit damage. That's the only one thing. It's not everyone, so you can argue other way. But this is gonna get your Georgid or your Baron or whoever else freed up. I think it's really good. I think it's a smart kit. I think the Strengthen, I think people underestimate how strong Strengthen is. It's obscenely strong. She's got good HP, and she's going to give you a shield. Of course, you only get the Strengthen if you have Wight King, I know. But still, 25% shield. This champion's HP, I'm all about it. Decreasing random allies' skills by 2 turns. Beautiful. And also heals them by 10% if it's a reset. I don't know. I just think overall she's gonna be a solid champion without him. She's gonna be crazy good with him. You might as well do it if you can. I think this isn't a do it in case she gets buffed. Do it because you're probably gonna use her more than you think, especially in Centranos. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I thought I'd give a little update. What do we got here? We're sitting on 10 of these. There's no one good. I have to say, there's nothing there that I want. Get out of here. We're going to save those for tomorrow because we have to. Hopefully I'll get something in the clan boss and be able to do that, or else I will be hard training for the hero's path. I won't have enough shards. But do that. Look at all those. Look at all those beautiful. Yeah, that's I got screwed. TLDR. I got screwed on this remnant on this fragment summon. I got the hard fail. I have 124 more to go to improve those odds. I got 3 days, 7 hours. Interesting. So it resets. Oh yeah, because it resets every Monday. So regardless, so at least I won't have to wait a full week after that tragedy that just happened to me. And that's all I have. That's an update on the main account update. You're welcome. Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.